Section 0 of The Mysterious Forces of Civilization by Abdul-Baha Abbas. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nicholas James Bridgewater. The Mysterious Forces of Civilization by Abdul-Baha Abbas. Translated by Johanna Dawud. Section 0. Introduction. In the name of God, the Merciful, the Clement. Renewed thanks and comprehensive praise are justly due to the threshold of unity of the Omnipotent. He hath distinguished and glorified humanity from amongst all the realities in the world of being, by decreeing its true state to be that of wisdom and understanding, the two great luminaries of the universe. He hath adorned the mirror of creation with new and wonderful manifestations of his will, by the effect and influence of those great gifts. Thus, if you look with clear eyes into the world of being, it will be apparent to you that in every dispensation the world, by means of the graces of thought and wisdom, hath been adorned with a new revelation and distinguished by an excellent new gift. The great sign of the incomparable Creator hath exceeded transcendental possibility in his creations and his glory. And the Hadith. Note, Hadith, a tradition or saying attributed to Muhammad or to one of his descendants through Ali, which, having been transmitted orally, constitutes one of the sources of the religion. Commencing before all things, God created wisdom, beareth witness to this fact. He indeed existed before all things, and was made clear in the temple of humanity. He is pure and holy, who, by the splendours of the lights of the divine grace, hath made this dark world the envy of the worlds of light. He dazzleth the earth with the light of her Lord. Exalted and holy is the omnipotent God, who made humanity the dawning place of this infinite grace. The Merciful One inspired the Qur'an, created man, and taught him the explanation thereof. Note, explanation in Arabic, al-Bayan, the title given by the Bab to his principal work, and consequently to his dispensation. End note. Now, O ye who are wise, arise in gratitude for this great goodness, and lift your heads in praise to the court of the Lord, who hath no associate, and with humble applications address him, praying that you may at this time be favoured, and that the manifestations of the Godhead may appear clearly through the discoveries of the souls of men, and that the blazing fire of God, which is deposited within the hearts of men, may no longer remain without a flame. Behold with the eyes of discernment, and see these signs and thoughts, knowledge, science, art, handicrafts, and wonderful inventions, all spring from the wealth of wisdom and understanding. Every nation and tribe which hath dipped deep in this infinite ocean hath advanced ahead of all others. The glory, honor, and prosperity of a nation depend upon this, that, like the sun, they rise from the horizon of sound learning. Are they indeed the same, they who know, and they who do not know? The nobility and glory of man consist in the fact that, amidst the beings, He is the dawning place of righteousness. Can any greater blessing be imagined by man than the consciousness that by divine assistance the means of comfort, peace and prosperity of the human race are in his hands? No, by Allah, there is no greater or more complete pleasure nor happiness than this. How long, then, shall we seek our own selfish desires on the wings of egoism? How long shall we continue like savage people in the depths of ignorance and misery? God has provided us with eyes in order that we should seek throughout the world and turn towards the causes of civilization and progress. Ears are granted to us that, having listened to the wise precepts of the learned, we may become instructed, and that, girding up the loins of resolution, we may follow their excellent example. Senses and inner faculties have been bestowed upon us that we may use them for the good of mankind, and that we should become distinguished from the lower nature of men by the solidity and justness of our judgment, and continually engage ourselves in well-doing. Thus we may find a sure defence in the impregnable fortress of knowledge, and at all times be prepared to lay a new foundation for the general welfare of our race, to discover a new system upon which to remodel our existence, and to give it openly to the world. How noble and excellent is man, if he only attain to that state for which he was designed, and how mean and contemptible if he close his eyes to the public weal and spend his precious capacities on personal and selfish ends. The greatest happiness lies in the happiness of others. He who urges the matchless steed of endeavour on the racecourse of justice and civilization alone is capable of comprehending the wonderful signs of the natural and spiritual world. For is it not written, "We shall cause them to see our signs, both in the world and in themselves"? In the misery of men lieth their greatest sorrow. He who remaineth idle and indifferent, and continueth in his egoism, indulging constantly his carnal appetites, descendeth to the lowest abyss of degradation and ignorance. Lower is he than the most dangerous of savage beasts, for it is written, "These indeed are worse than brutes, and meaner than cattle in the sight of God are the deaf and the dumb, who will not understand." Therefore must we gird up the vesture of ambition round the loins of enthusiasm, and earnestly strive to seize the just causes of comfort, peace, happiness, knowledge, culture, art, honor, glory, for the benefit of all, and to show unto men the right path to the summit of true dignity, so that the bright land of human faculty, fertilized by the pure water of sincere intention and the limpid river of endeavor, may flourish and become verdant with the fragrant herbs of personal virtue and the smiling flowers of open praise, and that the character of real worth may prosper and ripen to the envy of the gardens of ancient science. May this blessed land of Persia become the place of manifesting human qualities in all their degrees, and may the mirror which reflects the world become a mirror reflecting civilization. The manifestations of divine knowledge and the roseate dawns of revelation Note, that is, the prophets and messengers of God, end note, deserve the utmost glorification and praise, for by the bright sunbeams of their perfect wisdom and comprehensive knowledge, the forgotten people of Yathrib, note, the city of Medina, end note, and Bether, note, the city of Mecca, end note, were raised from the depths of ignorance to the highest peaks of knowledge and understanding. They became the center of the arts and science, of literature and polite learning. It is indeed evident to all men of discernment that at this time the world illumining majesty of the Shah has determined to encourage the progress, comfort and culture of the inhabitants of Persia, and the building and peopling of their cities. He has resolved to deliver judgment in an equitable spirit, so that, by the light of justice, he may make Persia the envy of the kingdoms of the East and West, and to restore the fragrance of her former excellent ages, and the joy of life to the veins and arteries of her people. Therefore it seemed well to this servant, out of the fullness of his gratitude, and for the love of God, to set forth in writing the manifold benefits of his great goodness. And this servant has withheld his name, that this purpose should be made manifest, and that it should be made clear that he possessed no desire but the good of all. But knowing that virtue is proven by just deeds, he offers, as a faithful servant of God, these few words of exhortation to the sons of his native land. The omniscient Lord is my witness that I seek nothing but the right, for I, a wanderer in the wilderness of God's love, have strayed in a world wherein censure and praise, appreciation and contumely are of little worth. Verily we exhort you for the sake of God, and expect neither your rewards nor yet your thankfulness. The hand is concealed, but written words are spread abroad. The horse gallopeth, but the rider is invisible. End of section 0.